Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into Prague's mystical past. We're talking about a time when magic and science were pretty much the same thing, and the epic quest for gold, well, it led to something way more valuable. So let's start with this question, one that's honestly puzzled people visiting Prague Castle for hundreds of years. It kind of pulls us into this hidden world, a place where the lines between chemistry, magic, and philosophy just got beautifully and mysteriously blurred. All right, we are heading back to the Renaissance, right into the heart of Prague Castle. Now, this place is famous for its kings and its stunning cathedrals for sure, but it's also got this other, much more secret history, a hidden world of medieval alchemy. And that makes you wonder, right? How did this one city, tucked away in the center of Bohemia, become the absolute global hub for this mysterious practice? Well, it wasn't an accident. It was all by design.
Yeah, the reason for all of this, it really comes down to one guy, the Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf II. His intense obsession, his passion for discovery, it basically fueled an entire era that would completely change intellectual history.
See, Rudolf II wasn't your typical ruler, not at all. He was a collector of weird and wonderful things, a patron for huge ideas, and he turned his court into this powerful magnet, just pulling in the most brilliant and, frankly, unconventional minds of his time. I mean, he created this incredible intellectual melting pot. Just look at the guest list. He brought in alchemists, famous astronomers like Tycho Brahe, and even really controversial figures like the English scholars John Dee and Edward Kelley. He got them all under one roof. But what were all these brilliant people actually doing in their labs? You know, the popular image is just a bunch of old guys trying to turn lead into gold. But the truth? Oh, it is so much deeper than that. And this right here gets to the heart of what alchemy was all about. The myth was about getting rich, sure, but the real goal was spiritual. For them, changing a worthless metal like lead into perfect gold was just a symbol for a much bigger journey, the perfection of the human soul. This was the real prize, their holy grail. The Philosopher's Stone wasn't just some recipe to make gold. They believed it was a mythical key that could unlock the very secrets of existence, giving you eternal life and ultimate wisdom. So, if they weren't just trying to make gold, what was actually going on inside those labs, tucked away in the castle's golden lane? What did a normal day look like for them? Well, their workshops were this amazing mix of the mystical and the practical. You'd see furnaces blazing away, all these intricate glass containers called alembics for distillation, jars of key ingredients like sulfur and mercury. And what's wild is that it all looks surprisingly similar to an early chemistry lab. And this is the crucial link. While their ultimate goal was, philosophical, their methods were really experimental. They were observing, they were recording, they were tweaking their techniques, basically laying the groundwork for a revolution in how we see the world. And check this out. In their search for this mythical thing, they ended up making very, very real discoveries. They got way better at distillation, they isolated new chemical compounds, they pushed forward how we make metal and glass. These weren't magic tricks, they were accidental, but totally foundational scientific breakthroughs. So this brings us to what's probably the most important part of the story, the true, lasting impact of these alchemists in Prague. Their main quest might look like a failure on the surface, but their legacy, it's anything but. You have to see that alchemy wasn't some strange dead end. It was a critical step in a long evolution. It started way back in ancient Egypt, blossomed during the Islamic Golden Age, hit its peak in Prague, and then it paved the way for what we now call modern science. When you look closely, their influence is kind of everywhere. Their whole experimental approach, it helped create the scientific method used in chemistry. Their search for elixirs of life, that was a forerunner to modern medicine, and their mythic quest has inspired countless stories, shaping our whole culture. So in the end, their greatest transformation had nothing to do with metal. They took the raw materials of mysticism and philosophy and experimentation, and through all their hard work, they forged something completely new, the foundations of modern science. And that really leaves us with one final thought. The story of Prague's alchemists is this powerful reminder that the line between what we think is impossible and what's just undiscovered, well, it's always shifting. So you have to wonder, what great magic are we pursuing today that will become the science of tomorrow?